The moment you stop chasing, explaining, and reacting, people start noticing your silence. The moment you stop giving everyone access to your energy, they start wondering what changed. You were always available. Always responding. Always trying to prove yourself. But what happens when you become calm? What happens when you step back, focus on yourself, and let your actions speak? They begin to feel your absence. This is not about becoming cruel. This is not about hurting people. Stoicism is not teaching you to become heartless. It teaches you to become disciplined. To control yourself so deeply that no one can control your emotions. Welcome to Stoic Ascension. If you believe in building a stronger mind, mastering your emotions, and becoming the best version of yourself, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more powerful Stoicism. A powerful person does not need to announce their transformation. They simply become different. There was once a man who spent years trying to make everyone around him happy. He answered every message instantly. He explained every decision. He begged for people to understand his intentions. But one day, he became tired. Not tired of people. Tired of losing himself. He decided to stop forcing connections. Stop chasing approval. Stop reacting to every opinion. At first, people thought something was wrong. Why is he so quiet? Why doesn't he explain himself anymore? Why doesn't he chase like he used to? But he wasn't angry. He was growing. This is the power of going cold. Going cold does not mean you hate people. It means you stop allowing your emotions to be controlled by them. The Stoics understood something important. You cannot control what people do, but you can control how much power you give their actions over your mind. Someone ignores you. Stay calm. Someone doubts you. Keep building. Someone leaves. Accept it. Because your peace should never depend on someone else's behavior. Many people lose themselves trying to keep people who already decided to walk away. They send more messages. They explain more. They try harder. But the Stoic understands that chasing what does not value you only teaches people that your attention is always available. Your silence can reveal your value. Imagine a person who always complains about being disrespected. Every day they say, people don't appreciate me. But they continue giving their time, energy, and attention to those same people. The problem is not only how others treat them. The problem is that they never showed themselves that they mattered. When you start respecting yourself, your standards change. You stop begging for conversations. You stop begging for love. You stop begging for acceptance. You become comfortable standing alone. And that is when people notice. Because confidence is quiet. Desperation is loud. A person who knows their worth does not need to convince everyone. They simply move differently. The Stoic does not seek revenge. The Stoic does not try to make people regret losing them. The Stoic focuses on becoming so disciplined that the opinion of others becomes background noise. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminded himself that other people's actions belong to them. Your character belongs to you. That means if someone chooses to disrespect you, you do not have to become disrespectful. If someone chooses to walk away, you do not have to destroy yourself. You can let people go with peace. There is power in saying, I wish you well, but I will continue forward. That is emotional strength. A lot of people think being cold means becoming emotionless. But real strength is feeling everything and still choosing your response. A person who explodes at every insult is controlled by others. A person who stays calm has control over themselves. Think about a fire. A small spark can destroy a forest if nobody controls it. Your emotions are the same. A small insult. A small rejection. A small disappointment. If you react without thinking, one moment can control your entire day. But when you master your emotions, you become difficult to shake. This is why silence is powerful. Not because silence hurts others. Because silence gives you space to think. The world is full of people reacting instantly. They argue instantly. They post instantly. They make decisions based on temporary emotions. But the Stoic waits. The Stoic observes. The Stoic chooses. There was a man who was insulted publicly by someone who wanted a reaction. Everyone expected him to fight back. Everyone expected anger. But he smiled and walked away. Later someone asked him, "Why didn't you respond?" He said, "If someone gives you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who keeps the gift?" The person replied, "The person who brought it." The man smiled. "Exactly. I refuse their anger." That is Stoic power. Not every battle deserves your energy. Some people want your reaction because your reaction gives them control. When you stop reacting, they lose access to your emotions. This is why people sometimes return when you become silent. They were comfortable with the old version of you. The version that always chased. The version that always forgave without change. The version that always stayed available. But when you transform, the relationship changes. People can feel when someone no longer depends on their approval. They notice when your attention is no longer something they can easily receive. But remember this. Do not become better just to make someone regret losing you. Become better because your future deserves it. The biggest mistake people make is improving only to prove something to others. They work hard hoping someone will say, "I was wrong about you." But the strongest person does not need that moment. Their success is not a message. Their peace is not revenge. Their growth is for themselves. When you truly ascend, you stop looking back. You become focused on where you are going. Your energy becomes valuable. Your time becomes valuable. Your mind becomes valuable. And you stop giving unlimited access to people who only bring chaos. A garden cannot grow if every person is allowed to step on it. Your mind is the same. Protect what you are building. Protect your discipline. Protect your peace. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is disappear from distractions and rebuild yourself. Work quietly. Improve quietly. Heal quietly. Grow quietly. The world does not need a daily announcement of your progress. A tree does not scream while growing. It simply grows. And one day everyone sees the height. Your life can be the same. There will be moments when people misunderstand your silence. Let them. You do not have to explain every chapter of your life to people who are not writing the story with you. A person who constantly explains themselves is often searching for permission. A person who trusts themselves moves forward. This does not mean you ignore everyone. It means you stop abandoning yourself. There is a difference. Kindness is strength. But allowing people to repeatedly disrespect you is not kindness. Forgiveness is strength. But forgetting your own value is not forgiveness. Love is strength. But losing yourself to keep someone is not love. Stoicism teaches balance. Care, but do not cling. Love, but do not depend. Give, but do not destroy yourself. When you become emotionally disciplined, people may call you different. They may say you changed. And they are right. You did. You stopped being controlled by every emotion. You stopped letting every opinion enter your mind. You stopped chasing things that were not meant for you. You became stronger. The old you wanted everyone to understand. The new you understands yourself. The old you wanted everyone to stay. The new you knows that the right people will stay without begging. The old you feared losing people. The new you fears losing yourself. That is the transformation. That is Stoic Ascension. So go cold on distractions. Go cold on unnecessary arguments. Go cold on proving yourself. Go cold on anything that steals your peace. But stay warm in your character. Stay kind. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Because the goal is not to become someone who nobody can hurt. The goal is to become someone who cannot be destroyed by what happens. Your power comes from within. Your peace comes from within. Your value comes from within. And when you finally understand that, you stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop reacting. You simply become. The strongest transformation happens when you realize that your attention is one of the most valuable things you own. Every day, you are giving pieces of yourself away. Your thoughts. Your energy. Your emotions. Your focus. The question is, are you giving them to things that build you, or things that drain you? The Stoic understands that attention is power. Where your attention goes, your life follows. If you spend every day worrying about who left, who doubted you, who ignored you, and who failed to appreciate you, you are giving your power away. But when you take that same energy and invest it into yourself, something changes. You become dangerous in the best way. Not dangerous because you want to harm anyone. Dangerous because you are no longer easy to manipulate. You are no longer controlled by praise. You are no longer destroyed by criticism. You become stable. A person who is stable inside cannot be easily shaken from the outside. There was a young man who always measured his worth by other people's reactions. When people praised him, he felt successful. When people criticized him, he felt worthless. His entire identity was built on the opinions of others. Then one day, an older man asked him a simple question. If everyone changes their opinion about you tomorrow, who are you? The young man had no answer. Because he had spent so much time trying to be accepted that he forgot to build himself. That day he started a new journey. He stopped asking, do they like me? And started asking, do I respect myself? That question changed everything. Because the person you live with the most is yourself. You can lose people and still survive. You can lose opportunities and rebuild. You can lose possessions and create again. But if you lose yourself trying to please everyone, the journey becomes much harder. This is why the Stoics focused on inner strength. They knew that the outside world will always change. People will come. People will leave. Situations will rise and fall. But your character is something you carry everywhere. The world can take many things from you. But it cannot take your discipline unless you surrender it. It cannot take your mindset unless you allow it. It cannot take your peace unless you hand it over. This is why you must become comfortable with silence. Silence reveals things. When you stop talking, you start noticing. You notice who only comes when they need something. You notice who respects you without constant effort. You notice who only valued the version of you that was easy to control. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is awareness. A person who is always surrounded by noise rarely hears their own thoughts. But when you become quiet, you reconnect with yourself. You begin to ask deeper questions. What am I building? Who am I becoming? What habits are destroying my future? What distractions are stealing my potential? These questions create growth. Many people are afraid of being alone because they have never learned how to enjoy their own company. But the Stoic learns something powerful. Being alone is not the same as being lonely. Loneliness is needing others to complete you. Solitude is knowing you are already whole and choosing to improve yourself. Great minds throughout history used solitude to create. They stepped away from the noise to sharpen their thoughts. Because sometimes the greatest version of you is hidden underneath everyone else's expectations. You cannot discover yourself while constantly performing for others. You cannot build a powerful mind while constantly seeking approval. You cannot become free while depending on everyone's validation. At some point, you must choose yourself. Not from arrogance. From self-respect. Going cold means removing emotional addiction. It means you no longer need someone to reply to feel important. You no longer need someone to notice you to feel valuable. You no longer need someone to choose you to believe you matter. You choose yourself first. And that changes everything. Because when you stop begging for attention, you become intentional with your presence. You stop entering every argument. You stop responding to every insult. You stop explaining your dreams to people who laugh at them. You understand that results speak louder than words. A person planting a tree does not argue with people who say it will never grow. They water it. They protect it. They wait. Then one day, the tree becomes impossible to ignore. Your goals are the same. Protect them. Work on them. Let time reveal the results. Some people will only respect what they can see. That is why your job is not to convince them. Your job is to build. A Stoic does not chase recognition. A Stoic chases excellence. Recognition is temporary. Character lasts. The world is full of people trying to look successful. But few people are willing to become disciplined. Everyone wants the result. Few want the process. Everyone wants the respect. Few want to earn it. Everyone wants the transformation. Few want the sacrifice. But the person willing to sacrifice today creates freedom tomorrow. This is why you must become comfortable being misunderstood. Growth often looks strange to people who are used to the old you. When you set boundaries, some people will call you selfish. When you become focused, some people will call you distant. When you stop entertaining drama, some people will call you boring. But remember, people often criticize what they no longer have access to. You are not required to remain the same person forever just because others were comfortable with that version. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to become stronger. The Stoic journey is not about becoming cold toward the world. It is about becoming calm within yourself. Because the calm person sees clearly. The angry person reacts. The desperate person chases. The insecure person proves. But the disciplined person builds. And the builder always wins in the long run. So when people notice your silence, when they notice your distance, when they notice you no longer react the same way, do not explain. Do not seek approval. Keep walking. Your transformation does not need an announcement. Your discipline is the announcement. Your results are the announcement. Your peace is the announcement. Continue becoming the person you always knew you could be. Because the greatest revenge is not making someone feel pain. The greatest victory is creating a life where their actions no longer control your emotions. That is freedom. That is strength. The moment you stop needing everyone to understand you is the moment you become free. Think about how much energy people waste trying to convince others. They explain their choices. They defend their dreams. They argue with people who have already decided not to listen. They spend hours trying to prove their worth to people who are not even paying attention. But the Stoic learns a powerful lesson. Your life is your evidence. You do not need to argue with people about the person you are becoming. You do not need to announce every step. You do not need to convince everyone that you are changing. A mountain does not explain why it is tall. It simply stands. Your character should be the same. Stand firm. Build quietly. Grow consistently. Let your actions speak. There was a man who started working on himself after years of being underestimated. Everyone around him remembered his old mistakes. They remembered his failures. They remembered the version of him that struggled. And every time he tried to improve, someone reminded him of who he used to be. At first, it hurt. He wanted to defend himself. He wanted to say, "I am not that person anymore." But then he realized something. The people watching his past were not responsible for creating his future. So he stopped arguing. He stopped explaining. He simply worked. Months passed. Then years passed. The same people who questioned him started asking, "How did you change?" The answer was simple. He stopped trying to be seen and started trying to become. This is the difference between seeking attention and building greatness. The person seeking attention needs people to notice every move. The person building greatness is focused even when nobody is watching. That is where real power comes from. When you can work in silence. When you can stay disciplined without applause. When you can continue even without recognition. That is when you become mentally strong. Because anyone can work when everyone is cheering. The real test is working when nobody believes in you. The Stoics understood that your peace cannot depend on external rewards. If your happiness depends on people clapping for you, then you become a prisoner of their approval. But when you learn to respect yourself, you become free. You start doing things because they align with your values. Not because you want attention. Not because you want revenge. Not because you want people to regret losing you. You do it because becoming better is your responsibility. There is a difference between wanting revenge and wanting growth. Revenge keeps you connected to the person who hurt you. Growth sets you free. A person seeking revenge still wakes up thinking about someone else. A person seeking growth wakes up thinking about their mission. That is the ultimate shift. Stop making other people the main character in your story. Your life is not about proving someone wrong. Your life is about becoming someone you respect. The Stoic does not ask, "How can I make them regret it?" The Stoic asks, "How can I become stronger because of it?" Every challenge becomes training. Every disappointment becomes a lesson. Every rejection becomes redirection. A closed door becomes an opportunity to build another path. The weak mind sees obstacles. The disciplined mind sees preparation. Your struggles are not here only to hurt you. They are also here to shape you. A sword becomes stronger because it survives the fire. A person becomes stronger because they survive difficult seasons. The pressure you face today can become the strength you carry tomorrow. But only if you choose the right response. This is why controlling your emotions is one of the greatest skills you can develop. Someone can insult you. Someone can doubt you. Someone can leave you. But nobody can force you to lose your peace. That choice belongs to you. Every reaction is a decision. Every response is a reflection of your character. And every time you choose discipline over emotion, you become stronger. Imagine two people facing the same situation. One reacts immediately. They become angry. They say things they regret. They allow one moment to damage their future. The other person pauses. They think. They choose their words carefully. They protect their peace. Same situation. Different mindset. Different outcome. The difference is control. Your emotions are powerful. But they are meant to serve you, not control you. A person who cannot control their anger is controlled by anyone who knows how to trigger it. A person who controls themselves becomes difficult to manipulate. That is why the Stoic becomes calm. Not because they feel nothing. Because they understand everything. They understand that every battle does not deserve a response. Every opinion does not deserve attention. Every person does not deserve access to your energy. Your life improves when you become selective. Selective with your time. Selective with your circle. Selective with your thoughts. Because your mind is a place of creation. Be careful what you allow to live there. If you constantly feed your mind with negativity, fear, and comparison, you create weakness. But if you feed your mind with discipline, knowledge, and purpose, you create strength. Your mind is a garden. The question is, what are you planting? Are you planting excuses? Are you planting resentment? Are you planting fear? Or are you planting confidence, patience, and determination? The garden will grow whatever you choose to water. So protect your mind. Protect your future. Protect your peace. Because the person you become is created by the choices you repeat every day. Going cold means removing what no longer serves you. It means becoming unavailable for unnecessary drama. It means leaving behind the version of yourself that needed constant validation. It means stepping into a stronger identity. The world may notice. People may wonder. Some may come back. Some may ask what happened. But your answer does not need to be words. Your answer can be your life. Your discipline. Your confidence. Your peace. Your transformation. Because at the end of the journey, the goal was never to make people beg. The goal was never to make people chase you. The goal was never to prove that you were better than anyone else. The real goal was to become so grounded in yourself that you no longer need anyone's reaction to feel complete. That is true power. When you reach that level, you stop measuring your success by who notices you. You stop measuring your growth by who comes back. You stop measuring your value by who stays. You understand that your worth existed before anyone recognized it. There was a person who spent years trying to hold on to everything. Every friendship. Every relationship. Every connection. They were terrified of losing people. So they constantly adjusted themselves. They changed their personality. They ignored their own needs. They accepted things that hurt them. All because they believed losing someone meant losing a part of themselves. Then one day, they finally understood. Anything you have to destroy yourself to keep was never truly yours. That realization changed their life. They stopped chasing. They stopped forcing. They stopped begging. And instead, they started building. They built their discipline. They built their confidence. They built their future. And slowly, they became someone they were proud to be. This is what Stoicism teaches. Do not spend your life trying to control what is outside of you. You cannot control who respects you. You cannot control who misunderstands you. You cannot control who leaves. But you can control the person you become after it happens. That is where your power lives. A storm does not ask permission before arriving. A strong tree does not complain about the wind. It strengthens its roots. You must strengthen your roots. Because life will test you. People will test you. Situations will test you. And when those moments come, your character will decide how you respond. Anyone can be calm when life is easy. The real test is staying calm when everything challenges you. Can you stay disciplined when nobody is watching? Can you stay focused when nobody believes? Can you stay peaceful when someone tries to disturb you? That is the difference between someone who is controlled by life and someone who controls themselves. The Stoic understands that emotions are visitors. They come. They go. But you are the one who decides which emotions receive a permanent place in your mind. Anger can visit. Sadness can visit. Disappointment can visit. But you do not have to let them move in. You acknowledge them. You learn from them. Then you continue forward. The strongest people are not those who never struggle. They are those who struggle and still choose growth. They fall and rise. They lose and rebuild. They experience pain and still protect their character. That is strength. So if someone walks away from your life, let them. If someone misunderstands your silence, let them. If someone doubts your journey, let them. Your mission is not to convince everyone. Your mission is to become someone who no longer needs convincing. Remember this. The person who is always available is often taken for granted. The person who values themselves creates respect. Not because they demand it. Because they demonstrate it. Your time matters. Your energy matters. Your peace matters. Do not give unlimited access to people who bring unlimited chaos. You are allowed to protect your mind. You are allowed to choose peace. You are allowed to grow beyond the version of yourself that others remember. The old you may have chased. The old you may have reacted. The old you may have begged for attention. But the new you is different. The new you is focused. The new you is disciplined. The new you understands that silence can be powerful. Not because you are trying to punish anyone, but because you are finally listening to yourself. And when you listen to yourself, you discover something important. You were never lacking. You were just distracted. Distracted by opinions. Distracted by approval. Distracted by people who made you forget your own value. Now you return to yourself. You return to your purpose. You return to your peace. This is the final lesson. Go cold on what weakens you. Go cold on what drains you. Go cold on what steals your focus. But never go cold on becoming better. Never go cold on learning. Never go cold on discipline. Never go cold on your dreams. Because the greatest transformation is not when others finally see your value. The greatest transformation is when you finally see it yourself. So walk quietly. Build patiently. Move with purpose. Let your actions speak louder than your explanations. One day, the same people who saw your struggle will see your strength. But by then, you will not need their approval. Because you already found something greater. You found yourself. This is Stoic Ascension. If this message gave you a new perspective, share your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with someone who needs to strengthen their mindset, and subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more powerful stoicism, discipline, and lessons on building an unshakable mind. Master yourself. Control your emotions. Protect your peace. And keep ascending. The strongest person in the room is not the one who speaks the loudest, it is the one who has mastered the power of silence. Imagine someone trying to provoke you. They insult you. They disrespect you. They want to see your anger. They want to control your emotions. But you look at them calmly, and you say nothing. That moment is power. Because the moment someone can control your emotions, they can control you. Welcome to Stoic Ascension, where we build a stronger mind, a disciplined spirit, and a life guided by wisdom. If you are ready to master yourself, share this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more powerful stoicism. Today we are talking about one of the greatest Stoic principles. Never react again. Not because you are weak. Not because you are afraid. But because your peace is more valuable than any argument. The average person reacts instantly. Someone says something, they answer. Someone attacks them, they fight back. Someone ignores them, they chase. Someone judges them, they become angry. They live like a puppet controlled by every outside force. But a Stoic understands something different. You cannot control what happens around you. You can only control what happens within you. A person who controls their reaction controls their life. There was once a young man who worked in a busy city. Every morning, he walked the same road to work. One day, a stranger accidentally bumped into him and spilled coffee on his clothes. The young man became furious. He started shouting. His entire morning was destroyed. The stranger apologized, but the damage was already done. The young man carried his anger for hours. He arrived at work angry. He treated his co-workers badly. He ruined his own day. But here is the truth. The coffee spill lasted 5 seconds. His reaction lasted 8 hours. The event was small. His emotional reaction made it powerful. This is what happens when we give other people control over our minds. Someone says one sentence, and we allow it to ruin our peace. Someone makes one mistake, and we allow anger to take over. Someone leaves our life, and we allow sadness to destroy our confidence. A Stoic asks, why am I giving someone else the power to control my inner world? The first step to never reacting again is understanding this. A reaction is automatic. A response is chosen. A reaction happens before thought. A response comes from wisdom. When someone insults you, your first instinct may be to defend yourself. When someone criticizes you, your first instinct may be to prove them wrong. But the Stoic creates space between the event and the response. That small space is where your power lives. The ancient Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He faced betrayal, war, sickness, and pressure from all directions. Yet he reminded himself that the opinions and actions of others did not have to control his character. He focused on what he could control. His mind. His choices. His actions. Think about a person who throws a stone at a mountain. The stone hits the mountain and falls. The mountain does not chase the stone. The mountain does not become angry. The mountain simply remains. Be the mountain. People will throw words at you. They will throw criticism. They will throw negativity. But you decide whether those things break you or fall away. Many people lose their power because they feel they must respond to everything. Someone talks about them. They explain. Someone misunderstands them. They defend themselves. Someone doubts them. They try to prove their worth. But a Stoic knows. Not every battle deserves your energy. Silence is sometimes the strongest answer. A person who has confidence does not need to convince everyone. A person who knows their value does not need constant approval. Your actions will always speak louder than your emotional reactions. There was a great warrior who trained for years to become disciplined. One day, another warrior insulted him in front of a crowd. Everyone expected a fight. They wanted to see anger. They wanted to see pride. But the disciplined warrior simply smiled and walked away. Someone asked him, "Why did you let him disrespect you?" The warrior replied, "If someone gives you a gift and you refuse to accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The person answered, "The person who brought it." The warrior smiled. "Then I refuse his anger." That is Stoic strength. You do not have to accept every emotion someone tries to give you. The second lesson. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. One of the biggest signs of emotional weakness is the need to constantly prove yourself. A person attacks you, and you immediately write a long explanation. Someone questions you, and you feel desperate to make them understand. But remember, people who truly want to understand you will listen. People who only want to judge you will find a reason no matter what you say. Your peace is not worth sacrificing just to win an argument. The third lesson. Do not let temporary emotions create permanent damage. Many people destroy relationships, opportunities, and their own progress because of one emotional moment. They say things they regret. They make decisions from anger. They quit because of frustration. But emotions are temporary. A storm can be powerful, but it always passes. Your anger will pass. Your sadness will pass. Your frustration will pass. Do not build your future based on a feeling that will disappear. A Stoic does not become emotionless. A Stoic feels. A Stoic cares. A Stoic loves. But a Stoic does not become a slave to emotions. There is a difference. Imagine holding a cup of water. If you hold it for a minute, it is easy. If you hold it for an hour, your hand becomes tired. The water did not become heavier. Your attachment created the pain. The same happens with anger. Holding on to anger hurts you more than the person you are angry with. The fourth lesson. Protect your attention. Your attention is one of your most valuable resources. Where your attention goes, your energy follows. Because the truth is simple. The world does not become peaceful because everyone becomes kind. The world becomes peaceful when you become disciplined. You cannot stop people from being disrespectful. You cannot stop people from making mistakes. You cannot stop people from judging you. But you can stop allowing their actions to steal your peace. That is where true freedom begins. Many people think power means having control over others. They think power means making people fear them. They think power means always having the final word. But the Stoics understood something deeper. The greatest power is having control over yourself. A person who cannot control their anger is not powerful. A person who loses their mind every time someone challenges them is not powerful. A person who needs everyone to agree with them is not free. The person who can stand in the middle of chaos and remain calm has achieved something rare. They have mastered themselves. Imagine two people walking through life. The first person carries a heavy bag filled with every insult they have received, every betrayal they remember, every negative comment someone made about them. Every day they add more weight. Someone says something cruel. They put it in the bag. Someone disappoints them. They put it in the bag. Someone ignores them. They put it in the bag. Eventually, they become exhausted. Not because life became heavier, but because they refuse to let things go. The second person experiences the same problems. They are criticized. They are rejected. They are misunderstood. But they ask, is this worth carrying? If the answer is no, they release it. That person walks lighter. That person is free. A Stoic understands that holding anger is like holding a burning piece of coal and expecting someone else to feel the pain. The person who suffers first is you. Every time you replay an argument in your mind, you are allowing the same moment to hurt you again. The event happened once. But your mind repeats it hundreds of times. Why give yesterday permission to destroy today? The sixth lesson. Stop seeking revenge. When someone hurts you, your ego wants justice immediately. You want them to feel what you felt. You want them to regret their actions. But the Stoic chooses something greater. Growth. Because the best revenge is not becoming like the person who hurt you. The best revenge is becoming someone they can no longer affect. There was a young man who was betrayed by someone close to him. He spent months thinking about revenge. He imagined proving them wrong. He imagined making them regret losing him. But one day, he realized something. Every hour he spent thinking about that person was another hour that person controlled his life. So he made a decision. He stopped looking backward. He focused on building himself. He improved his mind. He improved his habits. He improved his future. Years later, the person who hurt him was still the same. But he was completely different. That was his victory. The seventh lesson. Do not react to disrespect from a place of insecurity. Sometimes we become angry because someone touched a wound inside us. A stranger says something negative, and suddenly we feel the need to defend our identity. But ask yourself, why did those words have so much power over me? A person who truly knows themselves does not collapse because of an opinion. A diamond does not become a stone because someone calls it worthless. Your value does not change because someone fails to recognize it. The eighth lesson. Master the pause. The pause is where your strength grows. Before you answer, pause. Before you send the message, pause. Before you make the decision, pause. That one moment can save you from years of regret. Many people destroy their future because they cannot control 5 seconds of emotion. 5 seconds of anger can destroy a relationship. 5 seconds of pride can ruin an opportunity. 5 seconds of impatience can create a lifetime of consequences. A Stoic protects those 5 seconds. Your mind is like a powerful weapon. But a weapon without control creates destruction. Your emotions are powerful. Your passion is powerful. Your anger is powerful. But without discipline, your own power can become your weakness. The 9th lesson. Do not let people pull you into their chaos. Some people live in constant drama. They create problems. They search for conflict. They want reactions. And if you are not careful, you will spend your life fighting battles that were never yours. A Stoic learns to recognize this. Not every fire needs you to put it out. Not every argument needs your voice. Not every opinion needs your attention. Sometimes walking away is not surrender. Sometimes walking away is wisdom. The strongest person is not always the person who wins the fight. Sometimes the strongest person is the one who had every reason to fight, but chose peace. Because they understood something. Your energy is limited. Your time is limited. Your life is limited. Spend it on becoming better, not proving yourself to people who do not matter. The 10th lesson. Become impossible to control. When you stop reacting, you become free. People cannot easily manipulate you. They cannot easily provoke you. They cannot easily steal your confidence. Because your emotions belong to you. Your peace belongs to you. Your mind belongs to you. Every day, life will ask you the same question. Will you be controlled by what happens outside of you, or will you control yourself? The answer determines the person you become. The world will test you. People will test you. Your own emotions will test you. But every test is an opportunity. An opportunity to become calmer. An opportunity to become wiser. An opportunity to become stronger. Never forget. A calm mind sees clearly. A disciplined mind chooses wisely. A controlled mind cannot easily be defeated. So the next time someone tries to trigger you, smile. Stay calm. Observe. Remember who you are. Because the person who controls their reaction controls their life. Because every time you choose not to react, you are training yourself. You are building a stronger mind. You are proving that your emotions do not own you. Most people spend their lives being controlled by external things. A bad comment ruins their day. A failure destroys their confidence. A rejection makes them question their worth. A difficult person steals their happiness. But the Stoic lives differently. The Stoic understands. Life is not about controlling everything that happens. Life is about controlling yourself when things happen. There was once a man who worked hard every day, but he was constantly surrounded by negative people. Every morning, his co-workers complained. They complained about the job. They complained about life. They complained about everything. At first, he joined them. He carried their negativity with him. He went home tired, not because of his work, but because of the emotions he collected from others. Then one day, he changed his mindset. He decided. I cannot control their attitude, but I can control my own. After that, he stopped reacting. When others complained, he stayed focused. When others created drama, he stayed calm. When others searched for problems, he searched for solutions. Months later, people noticed something different about him. He had the same environment. The same challenges. The same problems. But he had a different mind. That is the power of Stoicism. A person who reacts to everything is like a ship without a captain. Every wave pushes them. Every storm changes their direction. Every outside force controls their movement. But a disciplined person becomes the captain of their own mind. The waves may come. The storms may come. But they decide where they go. The 11th lesson. Stop allowing emotions to make your decisions. Your emotions are messengers, not leaders. Anger can tell you something feels wrong. Fear can tell you something feels uncertain. Sadness can tell you something matters. But emotions should not always hold the steering wheel. A wise person listens to emotions, then chooses with reason. Think about a person who receives an angry message. Their first instinct is to reply immediately. They type. They attack. They send words they cannot take back. Then later, when their emotions disappear, they regret it. But the Stoic does something different. They read the message. They feel the emotion. They wait. They allow the mind to become clear. Then they decide. Sometimes the strongest reply is no reply. The 12th lesson. Your silence can reveal your strength. Many people are uncomfortable with silence because silence forces them to face themselves. They need constant attention, constant validation, constant reactions. But a person who is comfortable with silence has power. Silence shows discipline. Silence shows confidence. Silence shows that you do not need to prove your existence. There is a difference between being silent because you are afraid, and being silent because you are in control. A weak person stays quiet because they have no courage. A Stoic stays quiet because they have mastered their courage. The 13th lesson. Do not let your ego control you. The ego wants to win every battle. The ego wants to be respected by everyone. The ego wants to respond to every challenge. But the ego is expensive. It costs peace. It costs relationships. It costs growth. Sometimes your ego tells you, show them they are wrong. But wisdom tells you, focus on becoming better. A small tree bends when the wind comes. A strong tree can break because it refuses to move. The lesson is not to become weak. The lesson is to become adaptable. A Stoic knows when to stand firm, and when to let something pass. The 14th lesson. Do not confuse reaction with strength. Some people think anger makes them powerful. They think shouting makes them respected. They think aggression makes them strong. But anyone can lose control. Real strength is staying calm when you have every reason to be angry. Anyone can explode. Not everyone can remain peaceful. The ancient Stoics believed that your character is revealed by how you respond to difficult situations. Anyone can be calm when life is easy. The real test is when life becomes difficult. When someone insults you. When things do not go your way. When plans fail. That is when your training begins. Your greatest victories will not always be visible. Sometimes your greatest victory is the argument you avoided. The anger you controlled. The negative thought you replaced. The temptation you resisted. The moment you chose wisdom over emotion. Those are the battles that build you. Remember. Every time you react without thinking, you give away power. Every time you pause and choose, you take that power back. Your mind is your kingdom. Do not allow every stranger to enter and create chaos. Protect it. Train it. Strengthen it. One day, you will look back and realize. The things that once controlled you no longer affect you. The opinions that once hurt you no longer matter. The situations that once broke your peace no longer have power. Because you changed. You became disciplined. You became calm. You became unshakable. If this message connected with you, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment. I control my mind, I control my reaction. And subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more powerful Stoicism, discipline, and wisdom. Remember. The person who masters their reaction becomes the person nobody can control. Stop. If you master these 3 rules, most of the stress, drama, and disappointment in your life will disappear. People will wonder why nothing shakes you anymore. They will think you've become cold. But the truth is simpler, you've become stronger. The ancient Stoics understood something most people never learn. Life becomes easier when you stop fighting things you cannot control, stop chasing approval, and start mastering yourself. Today, I want to share the only 3 rules you truly need. Not 20 rules. Not 50 habits. Just 3 timeless principles that can transform the way you think, act, and live. Before we begin, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more powerful Stoic wisdom that helps you become stronger, calmer, and more disciplined every day. The first rule is simple. Control yourself, not the world. Most people spend their lives trying to control things that were never theirs to control. They try to control how others see them. They try to control outcomes. They try to control what people say, think, or feel. And because they cannot control these things, they suffer. Imagine a young man named Daniel. Daniel worked harder than anyone in his office. He arrived early, stayed late, and gave his best effort every day. When promotion season arrived, he was certain he would be rewarded. Instead, someone else received the promotion. Daniel became angry. He spent weeks complaining. He blamed his boss. He blamed his co-workers. He blamed the company. Every morning he woke up frustrated because he couldn't change what had already happened. One evening, an older mentor sat beside him and asked a simple question. What exactly can you control? Daniel thought for a moment. Not the decision. Not his boss. Not the company. Only himself. His attitude. His effort. His next move. That realization changed everything. Instead of wasting energy on things outside his control, he focused on improving his skills. He became better. Stronger. Smarter. A year later, he found an even better opportunity. The lesson is powerful. Your peace begins where your need for control ends. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control people's opinions. You cannot control the past. But you can control your response. You can control your character. You can control your actions. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from mastering yourself. Every time something goes wrong, ask yourself, is this under my control? If the answer is no, release it. If the answer is yes, work on it. This single habit can save you years of unnecessary suffering. A storm doesn't ask permission before it arrives. Life works the same way. Challenges will come. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. But your response remains your choice. The strongest people are not those who control everything. The strongest people are those who control themselves when everything feels out of control. Remember that. Because the second rule builds directly upon it. Expect nothing from others. Appreciate everything. Many people live with invisible expectations. They expect loyalty. They expect gratitude. They expect fairness. They expect people to return the same energy they give. And when those expectations are not met, they become bitter. Consider a woman named Sarah. She was always there for her friends. Whenever someone needed help, she showed up. Whenever someone needed support, she listened. She believed that when she faced hard times, those same people would be there for her. Then life became difficult. She lost her job. She struggled emotionally. And many of the people she helped disappeared. Sarah felt betrayed. She spent months feeling angry. Then she realized something important. Her pain wasn't caused by what people did. Her pain was caused by what she expected them to do. That realization changed her life. She stopped expecting. She started appreciating. When someone was kind, she appreciated it. When someone stayed loyal, she appreciated it. When someone helped her, she appreciated it. But she no longer depended on those things for her happiness. This is one of the most liberating lessons in Stoicism. The less you expect, the less disappointed you become. People will act according to their nature. Some will support you. Some will leave. Some will betray you. Some will surprise you. Your job is not to control their behavior. Your job is to maintain your peace. When you expect nothing, every act of kindness becomes a gift. Every opportunity becomes a blessing. Every good moment becomes something to enjoy rather than something to demand. Think about the sun. It rises every morning. Most people never appreciate it because they expect it. But imagine if you saw it for the first time. You would be amazed. Life becomes richer when you replace expectation with gratitude. You stop counting what you deserve. You start appreciating what you have. This mindset protects you from bitterness. It protects you from resentment. And most importantly, it protects your inner peace. The Stoics understood that happiness doesn't come from getting everything you want. It comes from wanting less and appreciating more. The person who needs nothing is harder to disappoint. The person who appreciates everything is harder to make unhappy. That is real power. And it leads us to the final rule. Focus on becoming better every day. Most people compare themselves to others. They compare their income, their appearance, their success, their relationships, their achievements. And because someone will always have more, they never feel satisfied. But Stoicism teaches a different path. The only person you should compete with is the person you were yesterday. Imagine a young athlete named Michael. Every day he checked social media. Every day he saw people stronger than him, faster than him, more successful than him. The comparisons drained his confidence. One day his coach gave him a notebook. The coach said, "Stop measuring yourself against everyone else. Measure yourself against who you were yesterday." Michael began tracking small improvements. One extra push-up. One better workout. One healthier meal. One more disciplined decision. The changes seemed small. But weeks became months. Months became years. Eventually, he became the person he once admired. Not because he focused on others. Because he focused on improving himself. This is how greatness is built. Not through giant leaps. Through small daily victories. Most people want immediate transformation. They want success overnight. Strength overnight. Wisdom overnight. Life doesn't work that way. A tree doesn't become mighty in a day. A mountain isn't formed overnight. Growth requires patience. Every day ask yourself, how can I become 1% better today? Maybe you become more disciplined. Maybe more patient. Maybe more courageous. Maybe more focused. The specific improvement matters less than the commitment to growth. Because every small improvement compounds. One day of discipline may not change your life. But years of discipline will. One workout may not transform your body. But hundreds of workouts will. One good decision may seem insignificant. But thousands of good decisions create an extraordinary life. The Stoics believe that excellence is not an event. It is a habit. Every day is another opportunity to strengthen your character. Every challenge becomes training. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes feedback. When you adopt this mindset, life changes. You stop fearing mistakes. You stop fearing failure. You stop fearing judgment. Because your goal is no longer perfection. Your goal is progress. And progress is always available. Even on your worst day. Even when things go wrong. Even when nobody notices. The journey of self-improvement never truly ends. And that's what makes it beautiful. There is always another lesson to learn. Another weakness to overcome. Another strength to develop. Another level to reach. Now think about these 3 rules together. Control yourself, not the world. Expect nothing from others and appreciate everything. Focus on becoming better every day. Simple. But not easy. Anyone can understand these rules. Few people actually live by them. Most people spend their lives chasing control. Chasing validation. Chasing comparisons. And they wonder why they feel exhausted. The Stoic chooses a different path. The Stoic accepts reality. The Stoic values gratitude. The Stoic commits to growth. When you follow these 3 rules, your mind becomes calmer. Your emotions become steadier. Your decisions become wiser. You stop reacting to everything. You stop needing approval. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. And slowly, you become unshakable. Not because life becomes easier. Because you become stronger. Years from now, people may ask what changed. Why you're calmer. Why you're more confident. Why you seem at peace while everyone else is stressed. The answer is simple. You stopped trying to control the world. You stopped expecting the world to serve you. You started focusing on mastering yourself. That is the Stoic way. That is the path to freedom. That is the path to strength. And that is why these are the only 3 rules you truly need. If this message spoke to you, share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear which of these 3 rules will have the biggest impact on your life. And before you leave, there is one final lesson that ties everything together. Many people hear these rules and think they sound too simple. They want complicated strategies. They want secret techniques. They want shortcuts. But the truth is that wisdom has always been simple. The challenge is not understanding it. The challenge is living it. Every morning you wake up, life gives you a choice. You can spend the day reacting to everything around you. Or you can spend the day strengthening what is within you. The world will always be noisy. There will always be criticism. There will always be distractions. There will always be people trying to pull you into arguments, drama, and negativity. The Stoic learns to protect his attention. Imagine a man carrying a bucket filled with water. As he walks through a crowded street, people bump into him from every direction. Some insult him. Some distract him. Some try to stop him. But he keeps his eyes on the bucket. Why? Because he knows his mission. He knows what matters. Most people lose their peace because they forget what they are carrying. They become distracted by every opinion. Every trend. Every criticism. Every piece of gossip. And before they realize it, they have spilled everything valuable. Your attention is precious. Your energy is precious. Your time is precious. Guard them carefully. The Stoics often reminded themselves that life is short. Not to create fear, but to create urgency. One day, every excuse will run out. One day, every opportunity will be gone. One day, the time you thought you had will disappear. That is why you must start now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. Become more disciplined now. Become more grateful now. Become more focused now. The future is built by what you do today. A farmer does not wait until harvest season to begin planting seeds. He plants them long before he sees results. Your habits are seeds. Your thoughts are seeds. Your actions are seeds. Every day, you are planting something. The question is simple. What kind of life are you growing? Many people want confidence. But they avoid difficult challenges. Many people want strength. But they avoid discomfort. Many people want success. But they avoid discipline. The Stoic understands that growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Think of iron in a blacksmith's fire. The heat seems destructive. The hammer seems harsh. But without the fire and the hammer, the iron never becomes a sword. Life will test you. It will pressure you. It will challenge you. Do not ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me? That single question changes everything. Suddenly, obstacles become opportunities. Pain becomes a teacher. Failure becomes training. And setbacks become preparation. This is how resilient people think. This is why they recover faster. This is why they remain calm when others panic. They understand that every challenge contains a lesson. The ancient Stoics never promised an easy life. They promised a stronger mind. And a strong mind can survive almost anything. Look around. Many people are physically strong but mentally weak. One criticism destroys them. One rejection breaks them. One setback makes them quit. True strength begins in the mind. A calm mind. A disciplined mind. A focused mind. That kind of strength cannot be taken away. Money can disappear. Status can disappear. Fame can disappear. But character stays with you. And character is built one choice at a time. Every time you choose patience over anger, you grow stronger. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger. Every time you choose courage over fear, you grow stronger. Small choices create powerful people. Never underestimate the power of daily decisions. A single drop of water seems weak. But over time, it can carve through stone. Your daily habits work the same way. Stay consistent. Stay patient. Stay committed. The results will come. There may be days when nobody notices your effort. Days when progress feels invisible. Days when you question whether it is worth it. Keep going. The seed grows underground long before anyone sees the tree. Your growth is happening even when you cannot see it. Trust the process. Trust the discipline. Trust the journey. One day, all those quiet efforts will become visible. People will call you lucky. They will call you talented. They will call you gifted. But you will know the truth. You became who you are because you refused to quit. Because you followed the rules. Because you chose growth when others chose excuses. Because you chose self-mastery when others chose distractions. And that is the ultimate Stoic victory. Not defeating others. Defeating your weaker self. Not proving people wrong. Proving yourself right. Not becoming better than everyone else. Becoming better than the person you used to be. As you move forward from this video, remember these words. When life becomes difficult, control yourself. When people disappoint you, expect less and appreciate more. When progress feels slow, keep improving every day. These principles have guided strong men and women for centuries. They still work today. And they will still work long after we are gone. The world may change. Technology may change. Society may change. But discipline, gratitude, and self-mastery will always remain powerful. So walk your path with confidence. Stay silent when silence is needed. Stay disciplined when others become distracted. Stay focused when others lose direction. And most importantly, never stop growing. Because the greatest project you will ever work on is yourself. And if you truly want to live by these 3 rules, there is something else you must understand. The world rewards those who remain steady. Not those who react to every emotion. Not those who change direction every week. Not those who quit the moment life becomes difficult. Steadiness is a superpower. Most people are controlled by moods. When they feel motivated, they work. When they don't feel motivated, they stop. When life is easy, they stay disciplined. When life becomes hard, they make excuses. The Stoic does not depend on motivation. The Stoic depends on principles. Imagine 2 men standing at the edge of a forest. The first man waits for perfect weather. The perfect mood. The perfect moment. The second man simply starts walking. Days pass. Weeks pass. Months pass. The first man is still waiting. The second man has already reached his destination. This is the difference between dreamers and achievers. Dreamers wait. Achievers act. One of the greatest lies people tell themselves is, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And suddenly years have passed. The Stoics knew that life is happening now. Not later. Now. The person you become tomorrow is created by the decisions you make today. Every action matters. Every habit matters. Every choice matters. That doesn't mean you must be perfect. Perfection is impossible. What matters is consistency. A river does not cut through rock because it is powerful once. It cuts through rock because it is persistent. Your success will come from persistence. Your confidence will come from persistence. Your strength will come from persistence. Keep showing up. Even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Because discipline begins where motivation ends. There will be moments when people laugh at your goals. Let them. There will be moments when people doubt you. Let them. There will be moments when people misunderstand you. Let them. You do not need everyone's approval to build a meaningful life. A lion does not lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. The Stoics understood that seeking approval is one of the fastest ways to lose yourself. The moment you start living for applause, you stop living for purpose. Stay focused on your path. Not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone is supposed to. Some people are sent into your life to support you. Others are sent to test you. Both have value. The supporters encourage growth. The challengers reveal strength. Be grateful for both. Every difficult person teaches patience. Every obstacle teaches resilience. Every setback teaches wisdom. Nothing is wasted when you choose to learn. Think about the strongest version of yourself. The person you want to become. Calm under pressure. Focused during chaos. Disciplined when tempted. Confident without arrogance. Strong without cruelty. That person is not built in comfort. That person is built through struggle. Every challenge you overcome is adding another brick to that foundation. Keep building. Brick by brick. Day by day. Choice by choice. And one day you will wake up and realize something incredible. The things that once disturbed you no longer have power over you. The criticism that once hurt you no longer affects you. The rejection that once broke your heart no longer controls you. The fear that once stopped you no longer exists. Not because life changed. Because you changed. That is the true goal of Stoicism. Not changing the world. Changing yourself. The world will always have chaos. But your mind does not have to. The world will always have problems. But your character can remain strong. The world will always have uncertainty. But your principles can remain firm. And when your principles are stronger than your emotions, your life changes forever. So as this message comes to an end, remember these 3 rules one last time. Control yourself, not the world. Expect nothing and appreciate everything. Become a little better every day. Simple words. Powerful results. Live by them long enough and you will develop something that cannot be bought, borrowed, or stolen. Inner strength. The kind of strength that remains when everything else is gone. The kind of strength that allows you to face any challenge with confidence. The kind of strength that turns ordinary people into extraordinary individuals. Walk forward with purpose. Speak less and observe more. Complain less and improve more. Expect less and appreciate more. Fear less and act more. And every day, continue the journey toward becoming the strongest version of yourself. If this message inspired you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience may help someone else who is walking the same path. And be sure to subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more powerful Stoic wisdom on discipline, self-mastery, resilience, and mental strength. Remember, the strongest victory is not over another person. It is over yourself. Keep ascending. Keep growing. Keep becoming.